And so our next session is all about what does radical transparency look like in the supplement and functional ingredient supply market? How could technology start to spur radical transparency? And I'm pleased to bring up to the stage my Informa colleague, Heather Granato, who is the VP of Content at Informa, New Hope Network's new parent company. And she's going to lead a conversation with Sherry Wang, who is the CEO of Ingredients Online, a company that is working very hard to bring radical transparency into the ingredient supply market, as well as Peggy Jackson, who is the VP of Sales and Marketing for Ingredients Online. And I welcome them to the stage and welcome their conversation.
Thank you so much, Carlotta. Appreciate it. And thank you to all of you who are still here on Thursday. You haven't decided to leave yet. So thank you to both Peggy and Sherry for being here today. I was pretty excited to get the invitation to join for a little dialogue, and thought it was interesting that we actually started out on Tuesday talking about, hey, the Wall Street Journal has this big article that actually is talking about, can the tech giants be stopped? And how technology really is revolutionizing the supply chain. Consumers are driving it up the chain, and companies are having to respond, and it's going to change everything, quite honestly. Yes. So what does that look like from our perspective, from the ingredients perspective, nutritional ingredients? So how do you see the consumer interest in transparency affecting the supply chain for nutritional ingredients?
So consumers are, they have instant access to knowledge, and I think so many of the speakers over the last 3 days have talked about that. They are empowered consumers. They know what they want. They want healthy products for their family. They want safe products. They want them ethically processed or environmentally friendly. So they are driving and forcing and demanding these things from the brands and from the manufacturers. So the manufacturers now have that responsibility to meet their consumers where they are, and they also, as a manufacturer, have access to ingredients all over the globe. And I know you've all been trotting around the globe looking for those ingredients. And so, you know, making efficiencies with technology is really the way we're solving some of those problems. So you can source ingredients from anywhere, any place, 24/7. So our members online we're finding that they're using our platform for knowledge, and whether that's knowledge on pricing, knowledge on the factory of origin, or instant access to downloadable documents, we are making that transparent for the manufacturer so they can make their calculated choices and fulfill what their consumers are demanding.
Okay, Sherry, do you have any thoughts on that? You know, the consumer interest and what that is really doing to the supply chain?
Yes, we believe transparency builds the trust, and also creates honest relationship with the company, can hold accountable and responsibilities.
Well, I think certainly, you know, you're seeing that transparency, the desire for trust. But part of that is, where are my ingredients coming from?
Yes.
So, you know, the transparency, whether that's boots on the ground, you know, having people actually there, the ability to access documentation, you know, why is that important in this market of nutritional ingredients?
So we've seen some of the bigger brands no longer support the model of having a team in China. It's a business model that has become non-efficient for some of the brands. They can use technology to do their due diligence. So like many speakers before us, we promised Tom we would not have a commercial, and so this is not a commercial, but I can't explain what we do with transparency without one slide. So what you'll see on the screen is, I have to get up and do some pointing. Well, I have to do some pointing. What you're going to see on the screen is radical transparency. Where's my little guy? There we go. All right, so we have 4 areas of transparency for each ingredient online. So you have the factory set price right here, tiered pricing, clearly visible, clearly radical. You have your QC documents fully downloadable, no more chasing down documents, so it's very transparent. You have real-time US inventory in whichever warehouse you choose to get your delivery from. And most of all, you have the factory of origin. So on each ingredient screen, we have those areas of transparency, always available 24/7. And with that, Carlotta also asked me to bring a real world example into this. So very quickly, the Chinese government shut down factories last fall because of environmental purposes. And so our team in China on the ground could see this happening, and because of their factory relationships there, they went and found more sources of ascorbic acid, and we were able to continue a consistent pipeline of quality ingredients. We imported them, we third-party tested them here in the US, and reached out to our clients and members to make sure we could fulfill their needs and their supply.
Well, it's interesting because it affects so many different parts of the supply chain.
Yes,
So what
yes.
you've got is it's not just the manufacturer who's trying to buy, it goes to, you know, the consumers. Ultimately, we've got a lot of different folks who are participating in the supply chain.
Absolutely.
So how do you look at this move toward transparency affecting segments of the supply chain? How does it impact margins? How does it affect consumer education and the information that they're able to access?
So margins are huge. I mean, that's where we can certainly help. So the transparency level, you can choose the higher volumes to get that tiered pricing discount. If you're a contract manufacturer and you know what your pipeline of work is coming down the pipe, you can make those calculated choices. So we're saving time, we're saving money, creating efficiencies, which saves time, and there should be no downtime in production because of real-time US inventory.
Yes, because the transparency basically provides the information. So it also creates the visibilities. So you see all the information right there. You see the tier pricing right there. You see all the documentation right there. And you also see the factories clearly listed on the platform. So you're able to see everything, including the inventory. So when you see the inventory, you knew that when you purchased that, you ordered that ingredients, and when you get confirmation is when you check out, you knew that as a guarantee that this ingredients you ordered will be delivered.
Right.
So that, and also the middleman has eliminated.
Well,
so
yeah, I think we've seen a lot of that. Quite honestly, we're all consumers. I'm ordering off of Amazon Prime. I'm one of the however many percentages of us. And I like seeing that it's going to be there on Tuesday. So to your point, Sherry, certainly, I want to know where it's coming from and how soon it's going to get to me.
yeah,
I
you're
don't
right.
really want to worry about
so all the information,
all the little bits in the middle.
Yeah, including the shipping information and the savings you have there, and also you can trace the shipping the status, when that will be delivered to your door. So all those information are visible for you.
And you also commented that it's, you've got your boots on the ground in China. Now, China has been a particular issue of concern, and certainly we've seen new regulatory changes coming in. So things like foreign supplier verification. You're looking at PCQI, and how many people know about PCQI? Okay, go and see UNPA. They're doing a ton of training around your PCQI, your preventive control quality individual that you're supposed to have in your manufacturing facility. And it's actually part of FISMA. It's a requirement that almost no one knows about. So if Lauren's still here, you can find him. Larissa Pavlik is doing a lot. And I know that, we've actually spoken about that, Peggy.
Sure.
I think the importance of those regulatory changes impacting the supply chain.
So FISMA is great. I mean, it was well needed, and Lauren has the stories on why, obviously, but with FISMA, it's really about traceability. So the FSDP, that's the new rule. Some companies had to adapt to that starting June 1st, and there is no more hiding the factory. It's gone. Those days are over. So business models must change to make the factory transparent.
Yeah.
It's not something we invented or the next people, it's the rules now. So we've just been doing that.
The platform is the solution for FSVP because the factory information has clearly listed on the platform. So we've been doing this for the last 2 years. So that means the factory, the middleman, no longer to hiding those information. It's all right there.
Well, and certainly it's the impact of marrying kind of technology plus transparency.
Absolutely.
I think that's what
Yes.
you really worked
Yeah.
on. So technology is changing business. It's changing consumer expectations. It changes how I am as a consumer, and that translates to me as a business person.
Correct.
So what does that mean for our ingredient supply chain, this change and the use of technology and the importance of transparency?
So we're all consumers at the end of the day. We all shop online. We all order Uber. We did it yesterday. So we have an expectation that has to be met based on these consumer brands that we engage with every day. So they're setting the standards that in a B2B world, we will need to keep up with. So our customers have instant access anywhere they are to, they need this knowledge. And so we've empowered them with these efficiencies. And we've had several speakers that you could just flip it from consumer to B2B and it's the exact same answer. So, I'm not gonna go into a lot of that, but it's just, listening to the consumer information over the days, just turn it to B2B and ingredients, and it's like Amazon for raw materials. It's really that simple.
Right. And Sherry, you've been involved in this, supply chain and certainly the importance of connecting folks for 20 years.
Yes.
So as you've seen this come together,
Yes,
why?
basically we are connected the seller and the buyers together now. So the factory, they can selling on our platform directly. And then the end user manufacturer here in US, they can just go online, purchase those ingredients. And I think that the technology become visible now. So I have experience in China that when I go to a restaurant, this is my last trip, and there's no menu in the restaurant anymore. So what I do is I just scan the barcode on the table and the menu pop up on my cell phone. So I can order right there, and then before I submit my orders, I can see my total amount of tonight's dinner. So that means if we have a budget of your dinner, so that will be really helpful for you to decide if we want to add more dishes, so we want to take a
the next
couple
time I
off.
go out for my business dinner at Supply Side, I'm going to actually try and find that app so I can use that.
So that visibility really changing today's world. And also, like I mentioned earlier, so online you can see all the prices right there, so you can make the right choices. And also, you can see multiple manufacturers selling the same ingredients, and then you can compare with them. So that technology gives you those informations, so you can make those informed choices. And also, technology is accessed the whole time, 24/7. So we often see the orders like the middle of the night, during the holidays, even the Christmas day, we see the orders. And also I get feedbacks from our manufacturers that, oh, I forgot to order this one ingredients, my production needed those ingredients, that, hey, they can order middle of the night, So that technology allows us to do all those things and experience. You have a better experience about this give you this experience that you're able to do many things. You can do the comparisons. You can see everything before you make your decision.
Excellent. Well, certainly an innovative use of technology and how it's coming together with transparency in the supply chain. So I'm sure any additional questions about the platform, folks will be able to find you.
Sure.
And thank you all for being here at the NBJ Summit. I'm going to turn things back over to Carlotta and appreciate having you all here.
Thank you.